You know if that's the rule or not. You know, in this country, colored people can work for large white insurance companies. And I thought about that. It was just in passing, though, you know what I mean? Nothing spectacular about it, just talking. But I decided in my mind to visit with the leading professor at the University of Illinois that dealt with insurance, wrote books, and I talked to him. Mayor was my professor. And I talked to him, and he says, yes, this is true. Colored people can represent large insurance companies. And I was in law school. It was the beginning of the fall. And I came back to him and I said, well, I'd like to try it. I mean, why is it, you know, white people can work for companies and colored people can't? And he says, if you're going to do something about it, you got to be serious. You just can't be talking to me about it. So I came back to him. And when we really got into it, he says, one company I know you're not going to represent is New York Life. I said, that's where we're going to try. About 4 months later, I went back to see Munsell. And he's finding out how you're doing. I didn't know if I'm trained this and that. I was trained sufficiently at the University of Illinois. And what I needed to know was how I can make somebody be interested in creating an estate and how to make that presentation. And I rehearsed that and studied it in my own way to get black people, and they were all only black people that I sold insurance to. And that was during the time when we had collection insurance, industrial insurance, that we were accustomed to. We did not see the view of creating an estate and establishing an estate. When I met Munsell again, I told him, I've already placed $300,000. He said, I can't believe it. How can this be? Just starting out. And he said, you know what? I'm planning to sell $1 million this year. I'm talking about 1957, where $10,000 was like $50,000 now. You know what? I sold it. I sold $1 million my first year, over $1 million in my second, my third, and so on and so forth. I didn't miss 1 year. Then I decided, all the people who are number one in the country and all that, it's time for me to challenge them now. And if you look at New York Life during those years I'm talking about, some months you'll see Cirillo McSween as number 1 or number 2 or number 3 nationally. But I'd met also another man, Martin Luther King. And I joined him. And I joined his efforts. And the years of 67, 68, and so on and so forth were my best years, but the years also that I devoted to him and his mission. I honed During that time, I became a significant owner of the Independence Bank of Chicago, which was the largest black bank in the country. With George Johnson and Albert Tay, we established, because we thought that we needed to work together, a cable company with John H. Johnson, chairman of the board, and I'm treasurer. We decided to make sure that Harold Washington become the first black mayor in Chicago. I was his treasurer. But let's talk about New York life, though. Because I don't know when you say you do well what that means. I don't know that. What I would like to know is that some of you are the best in the company. What I'd like to know is that sometime in this investment portfolio that you raise a question if they're investing in our marketplace and in our communities. That's what I would like to also know. Because we can't not participate in some area of the development of a great company or big country, and we don't have a share in the outcome of the fruits of his labor. We can't walk around being big Negroes and don't act like big Negroes. Because that has an obligation too. Why am I glad to be here tonight? Why am I so happy to be here tonight? And I don't know. When you talk about 50 years ago, you don't know what may happen. But if I know this for sure, it wasn't as important then as it is now. That if I had decided I didn't need to be in the insurance business, I just wanted to be in a law business or whatever business I decided, and didn't hitchhike. You were right, Gus. When I became an agent after a year and a half of being a broker, which I had to struggle to become, and still couldn't be in the office because they couldn't have black people in the office. And I said, man, this is too much for me. Which any day I could have decided it's too much for me. Martin Luther King didn't have to die because I knew he had other offers, but he said, I'm going to finish this for us, for people who wouldn't have to stay in or sit to the back of the bus no more. I was there when he made the decision not to give up. And that is what I'm trying to say to you tonight. Now tonight's now one who had to either make it or break it. I have hundreds. And what a glorious life that is. What a glorious example that is. You have enriched my life beyond imagination. You have just made me happy.